Did you know that people who do bad things, it's not always because of the environment that they were brought up in. Some people just have sin in their hearts. Hi, my name's Andrew. This is Faith Boost, and I got some ancient secrets which still work today in the modern world. You know, there's a narrative today that not all follow or believe or adhere to, but some people do in our modern society. That the reason people commit crimes, the reason people do bad things is because of their environment. You know, maybe they came from a poor environment, maybe they had a challenging childhood, maybe they were victims of something when they were kids. Maybe, mum and dad didn't look after them. Maybe they were, neglected or something. And that's the reason why today they're running around, breaking into cars, stealing cars, breaking into homes, doing bad things, joining gangs, whatever it is. Well, the Bible gives us the first story of murder. The first time someone was murdered was when Cain killed Abel. It's in verse 8 of Genesis chapter 4. And if you really think about it, it's a tragic, tragic part of the Bible, but it's also a deep insight into human nature. Because Adam and Eve lived in the Garden of Eden. Okay, so they were expelled, but they're in this beautiful earth that we still see today. I mean, the world is such a beautiful place. Nature is so beautiful. Check out this river behind me. It's beautiful. The mountains, oceans, rivers, landscapes, hills, snow-covered mountains. There's so much beauty in this world. And Adam and Eve have just, popped out a couple of kids. One's called Cain, one's called Abel. There might have been some more people in the world by then. We don't know. But the reality is there were not big overcrowded cities. There was no traffic congestion. There wasn't the stress and the pressure of today. They were just growing their own food, just looking after their families, going about their business. And yet in the midst of what I would describe as almost a perfect environment, there's enough sin in the heart of Cain to murder his own brother, to kill his own brother. And this is an insight into human nature. There's also a narrative today which says people are inherently good. But if bad things happen to them, if the environment's wrong, if they don't have enough money, they can become bad. Well, that is not biblical. I want you to hear biblical truth today. The Bible says in Romans chapter 3, verse 23, all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. We are all sinners. We are born sinners. It doesn't matter if you're born in a good environment. It doesn't matter if you're born in a bad environment. It doesn't matter if your childhood was idyllic and perfect and nothing went wrong. And it doesn't matter if you had the worst childhood, possible. All of us are born sinners and we all have a sinful nature. And Cain was born a sinner. He was born into sin. Since Adam and Eve sinned, mum and dad sinned, they were born with a sin nature. And Cain killed his brother Abel. And this really should teach all of us that, even as Christians, we can't just trust everybody. Sometimes we're too trusting as Christians. I heard this once: trust God and love people. Sure, love everyone, but have boundaries around your love. Just don't embrace everyone into your home and into your heart and into your life just because you meet them at church, for example. Everyone has a sinful nature. And until you know someone over time, you really never know their true character. You really don't know the true person. So we shouldn't be so embracing so easily to trust people. Yes, we should love. Yes, we should accept, but always have boundaries around your love. It's simple. Like in a church situation, for example, if there's kids in the kids' church, you've got to have boundaries. You don't just let any random go in there and look after the kids on a Sunday if you don't know them, if they haven't been vetted, if they haven't been checked. And, when I was a pastor, I didn't really allow men alone with the kids either. I'd always have a woman with them. You've got to have boundaries. Not that we don't love everyone. We love everyone. But we don't trust everyone, especially when you just met them. And in a church environment, you're meeting people all the time. There's people coming and going. There's new people, and we're welcoming, we're loving, but we trust God and we love people. Because even Cain and Abel, if you analyze it, that murder really happened in a place of worship. I mean, they were both worshiping God. They were bringing an offering to the Lord. And in the midst of that setting, something really bad happened. And I just want to say sorry if you've been in a church environment and you've been hurt or even abused or something really bad's happened, you've been lied to, let down. I'm really sorry about that. But unfortunately, it was happening way back in Genesis chapter 4. You're not the first one to suffer in a place of worship or in a place of prayer. It's not the way God designed it, but it's people's sinful nature that causes it.